What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. I just got some new goodies for the gun room, so let's jump into it. If you're the type of guy like me that likes to work on his own guns, tinker with them, customize them, make them your own, make them unique, then you're gonna kinda need some specialty tools for doing that stuff. I know for me personally, over the years, I'm working on a project or needed a certain tool. I've slowly kind of bought those over time to fill my toolbox with the gun tools that I have now. So if you're one of those do-it-yourself type of guys like me that don't like to pay somebody else to do it and is very hands-on, then this stuff should be right up your alley. So we're gonna jump over to the bench, I'll show you what I got, and we'll kind of go through these few new additions that are gonna make my life a lot easier. With that said, I will have a link in the description that takes you to my website where I'll have more information about all this stuff. Make sure you go check that stuff out. I'll also throw up a QR code for those of you watching on TV or whatever while you're watching this. You can scan that and take a look at that stuff while you watch the video. I'll also have a link for the Ballistically Challenge merchandise if you want to go pick up a shirt or a hat. That would be awesome, help support the channel. But let's take a look at this stuff. So here's some of the stuff that I'm adding to the gun room. So I finally got one of these real avid gun vises. These are awesome. It's a vise that mounts to your bench, lets you position your gun any way you want to. It can go 360 degrees, and I'll show you some of that once I get this installed. They're very strong, very durable, very adjustable and user-friendly. So that's going to be very nice for the gun room. And in my bench where I have my normal vise and stuff, I have these bench plates that I've routed into the bench top that are kind of a multi-mount type system. I can attach my reloading press, a vise, really any tools that you need to be held down. They have a plate for, and they have universal plates that will adapt to it. I got a plate for this real avid gun vise from Inline Fabrication. Quality construction, I've had zero issues with any other stuff. I got a bunch of their products. They make all these wall channels and bins and tool holders and all sorts of stuff for reloading. So that's kind of the system that I have kind of going around my bench. They're just a great product that makes things a lot easier. So I'm going to be mounting that on this Inline Fabrication bench plate. I also got some smart jaws for this vise. These are some rubber covered jaws that are smooth on one side, have grooves, vertical, horizontal grooves on the other side that you can just slide over top to protect the finish on your gun and be used in a multitude of different ways. I've also got one of their smart mats. Now these are pretty cool. They've got a little storage tray on the end that I'll show you when I get this opened up. It's got some rubberized padding on it. Gives your gun some padding when you're working on it on the bench. Grips it a little bit. It repels oil, and it has a little tray on the end for small parts and pieces. And there's a little magnetized section 2 for metal roll pins or whatever you don't want rolling off your bench. So we're going to throw that on the bench. And I also got some products from Riptide. Riptide makes gun cleaning products and kits, and this kit is pretty cool. It comes as a full kit. It's got their advanced gun cleaner and gun oil. All this stuff is non-toxic. It's got a little spray head and kind of needle tip oiler. Comes with a bunch of different bore snakes for different calibers. Comes with a cleaning brush, some cotton swabs, patches, pretty much everything you're gonna need to clean your gun. And this is nice because one, I can use it here in my gun room when I'm cleaning my stuff, or two, I can fold this up, throw it in my range bag and have that out on the range if I need to do any cleaning or I have any issues, malfunctions, whatever. So this is a nice little kit that everything is all in one spot and you can get your junk cleaned up. They also make this stuff. This is for cleaning the glass on your optic. If you get carbon and stuff on your red dot, your scope, whatever, this makes it easy to clean that off, leaves it streak free, doesn't hurt the glass at all. Then I also got some of this. This is their advanced CLP. A lot of their cleaners and oils are graphene infused, which kind of leaves a layer of protection on there and helps prevent some of that buildup in carbon fouling. These also came with a little spray head and oiling tip, needle tip for putting that oil and stuff right where you want it. So that's kind of an overview of these products. I'm gonna get this stuff unboxed, show you guys how I'm gonna mount this vise and how it works. And then maybe we'll do a test run on this Riptide stuff and get a gun cleaned up, see how well it cleans it. So that's what this gun vise looks like installed. Got that plate on there, got it installed, and this is just like any ordinary vise. You can throw stuff in there, clamp it, but it has the ability to loosen up this ball, and this can rotate any way that you want it. You can lay it pretty much horizontal, vertical, and then just lock it in tight. It's also got this locking pin that you can put in the side here and lock it vertically, horizontally, whichever way you want. You can lock it solid so it's not just the friction fit of this ball clamp down here. This is a very sturdy option. You can see I got it on this mounting plate, and that locks right into the bench plate that I already have installed in multiple places in my gun room. So this is going to be a nice addition. It's also got this micro adjust over here on the side. When you have a gun in there and you're mounting a scope or whatever, you can pull this out. It will adjust the head of this just barely one way or the other, so you can get your gun perfectly level if you're mounting sights or anything like that. These are the vise jaws that come with it. One side is kind of a plastic side, the other side has some foam on it, and they can go on here any way that you'd like. And then it's just got these little pins that lock them in place. If you need to flip them around to the other side if you want the foam side. And then these are those extra smart jaws. And these are kind of rubberized and they have these grooves, so if you're holding a barrel or whatever you're holding, vertical, horizontal, those can go on there. Just like that. Or again, they're reversible and have kind of a grippier rubberized side that you can put the stock of your bolt gun in or whatever and hold it nice and tight without marring up the finish. But this is a very versatile, useful tool to have in your gun room. And if you're going to be working on your guns all the time, I suggest getting one of these. I fought just a normal vise for the last 5-6 years, and I think this will be really handy. And to be honest, you don't have to have this in a gun room. You can mount this out in your garage, use it for other stuff. It's a very versatile, solid option. Now, Inline Fabrication does make some mounts that can go on these wall panels. So if you're not using this, you can pull it off, store it up out of the way. I'll try and throw a picture of that up, but it makes it really nice when you want a nice flat bench. So when you're not using it, you're not banging into it or it's in the way. So that is the real Avid gun vise. Let's check out some of this other stuff. Now we got the Smart Mat 2000. This thing is 43 inches long, 16 inches wide. Like I mentioned, it does have a parts tray. Here's how this comes, just all rolled up. Let's get this one out of the way. And just like that. That fits nice on my toolbox. Definitely long enough. That foamy padded material, grippy, stays on the bench, doesn't really slide around. And then it's got this parts tray on the end that you can put little pins, tools, whatever you don't want rolling off the bench. Little magnetized section. So I think that'll be a nice addition to the workbench. This is all the stuff that comes with that Riptide Armory gun cleaning kit. So it comes with a case, some cotton swabs, some cleaning patches. Like I said, it comes with that nice bristle brush. It's not going to mar up the finish on anything. Comes with 4 different bore snakes for whatever calibers you got. Comes with the advanced oil that is graphene infused, and also comes with the advanced gun cleaner. This stuff is non-toxic, made in the USA. It's a veteran-owned company. I'm really excited to try this stuff out. And I think this kit will be a good option to throw in the range bag so you can clean stuff out on the range. And like I mentioned, I will have links in the description and a QR code up on the screen that takes you to my website where you can go get some more info on this stuff and check all of this stuff out. Riptide also makes these microfiber cleaning towels that come in a paper towel roll. So these are really handy to have when you're cleaning guns and working in the gun room. I got a roll of these as well. Mounted them up in my paper towel holder so they're easy access when I'm working on stuff, but these are very solid, very durable. And I think that'll be a nice option so you don't get your wife's microfiber towels all gunked up with gun stuff. You can just use these. When they get all oily and nasty, just chuck them and you got a whole roll of them that you can use for gun cleaning. It doesn't leave lint on your guns like typical paper towels or those blue Scott towels or things like that. All right, guys, we're gonna give this stuff a whirl. I got all this stuff pulled out of the kit. All these bore snakes are labeled on that little metal tab. I don't know if it'll focus on that, but right here on this little tab, it tells you what caliber these are good for. So it's got one, a 22, a 30, a 38, and then one for 12 gauge shotguns. That's going to cover the majority of your calibers. I don't like to use normal cotton swabs. They leave lint, little hairs all over, so I might get rid of those. What I use is some of these. I just get these on Amazon, and I'll make sure I have these linked over at the parts list as well. But these have like a microfiber tip on them. They come in big packs. They have these smaller ones. They have bigger ones. They have a bunch of different sizes, so I'll make sure and link those over there because these are really handy for cleaning guns. They don't leave any lint or anything like that. And the gun I'm going to be cleaning is my SIG P320. This is kind of an X5 Legion clone that I built. Some SIG fanatic's going to say it doesn't have the slide cuts on there. It's not a clone, but everything else is the same other than those slide cuts. But this is a little bit dirty. I mean, it's not too bad, but we're going to get this cleaned up and see how this new stuff from Riptide works. So I'm going to use some of their advanced gun cleaner. I'm going to just spray this stuff on. Get this stuff soaking. Okay, I got that all cleaned up. This stuff worked pretty good, cut through that crud. Granted, this gun wasn't extremely dirty, but it was very easy to clean, nothing special. We'll see how this oil holds up over time. If it's good stuff, I'll just keep using it because this kit is very handy to have. Now they also have this glass cleaner for your optic, so I'm gonna try some of that out. You just spray that on there, then we'll just use our little microfiber to clean any carbon, any smudges, anything like that off of there. And that's how that turns out. So that's handy to have a product like this that you can clean optics and stuff. Let's try it on the front of this weapon light. There's a little bit of haze and crud around the outside of that. Not bad. That worked out nice. Has everything you need. Honestly, I think my favorite part is these disposable microfiber towels. These are awesome. I figured they'd kind of be cheap or rip apart. They're just a thin version of a normal one. I bet you could even wash these and reuse them. So I'm going to clean this stuff up. We'll jump back up off the bench and wrap it up. All right, so first up was that Gun Vise and gun cleaning mat from Real Avid. I've wanted one of those for a while. The versatility of that thing, how you can position your gun any way you need, and the features that it has with those vise jaws that you can swap on. So you can use it for a multitude of different things, whether you're working on an AR or a bolt gun or a handgun or whatever you're working on. You can position it in any position you want. It's got that micro adjustment on the side, so if you're trying to level a gun to get a scope just perfect, that's going to be a nice feature. And I really love that inline fabrication has a plate for that, so I can utilize the bench plates that I have in my bench. I have 3 of these in different positions, so I can run my reloading press, my case trimmer, a vise, now this Real Avid vise. They make a bunch of different plates for a bunch of different products. They even have some blank plates, so if they don't make one specific for your product, you can buy the blank, trace out the pattern, drill the holes, and mount whatever you have to that plate. So I'm really excited for that vise. That's going to be awesome. I'm going to use the hell out of it. I'm sure you'll see it in most of my videos where I'm working on guns. That bench mat was perfect. It wasn't sliding around or anything. Has that little parts tray on the side, and it covers that whole section of my workbench where I put it. So I think this one's going to be perfect for what I need. And then these Riptide Armory products. This worked out pretty good as well. I like that it comes all in one case. This whole case with the cleaners and the bore snakes and the patches and everything else is not very expensive for what you get. And it's handy. Either here in the gun room, I can have everything together, throw it in a drawer, store it away. Everything's where I need it. You can also throw it in your range bag. It has a little carry handle on it. Throw it in your range bag. These microfiber towels are awesome. Another thing I was worried about is that these gun cleaners and oils, when I pulled them out, they just had a solid cap on them. They didn't have the spray nozzle or the needle style oiler. And I was wondering if those would leak in there if it's banging around in a range bag or whatever. But these guys have thought of everything. This is the oil bottle. It has a little, it goes up and down to seal that off so no oil is going to leak out and you're not just relying on this little rubber cap. And the spray nozzle also has this little locking tab, so you just push it up, lock it closed. That can't spray or leak. When you go to use it, drop it down and then it'll spray just fine. So that'll be nice to not have any leaks in your cleaning kit wherever you're storing it. So I'm pretty happy with all these products that we talked about today. Like I said, I'll have a link in the description. I'll also throw a QR code up. You guys can go look at this stuff. Also go pick you up a Ballistically Challenge hat, t-shirt, hoodie, whatever. Help support the channel. Let me know what you guys think about this stuff down in the comments. And as always, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that thumbs up button, and we'll check you guys on the next one.